If you're a man over 60 and you've always thought that an enlarged prostate is just part of getting older, then you might be missing the biggest opportunity to protect something that directly impacts your quality of life, control, confidence, and comfort in your later years. The prostate doesn't just break down on its own. It doesn't enlarge simply because you're aging. And it certainly doesn't malfunction just because you're a man. According to Cleveland Clinic, up to 70% of prostate enlargement cases, BPH, after age 60 are not caused by genetics or age, but by chronic inflammation, hormone imbalances, and lifestyle habits that quietly accumulate over decades. The scariest part? Most men have no idea this is happening. Did you know that a study from Harvard Medical School, published in Current Urology, revealed that over 60% of men over 60 have signs of prostate dysfunction, yet most of them remain undiagnosed? Why? Because they shrug it off. Because they think waking up to urinate 2 to 3 times a night is normal. Because they believe weak flow, lower abdominal pressure, and trouble emptying the bladder is just part of aging. But you need to hear this: that's not aging, that's a warning sign. The prostate may be a small gland, about the size of a walnut, but it reacts sharply to hormonal changes, blood flow in the pelvic area, and low-grade inflammation within your body. That means even just a few wrong habits in eating, movement, or rest can lead the prostate to swell, grow abnormally, and press against the urethra. And if left unchecked, the consequences aren't just about sleepless nights or losing bladder control. It's an increased risk of prostate cancer, which is now the second most common cancer in men in the US, according to the National Cancer Institute. But here's the good news: you can change that. No meds, no surgery. Just by adjusting a few key habits that have been quietly harming your body every single day. And this isn't just motivational talk. I'm talking about 8 simple habits, backed by real science. Every habit you're about to learn has been studied in long-term clinical research and validated by leading medical organizations like the Mayo Clinic, the American Urological Association, and Harvard Health Publishing. I'll walk you through each habit, in reverse order, from habit number 8 to habit number 1. That's intentional. I want you to experience the journey, to see how each small step moves you closer to real healing. That's why I won't reveal everything all at once. We'll go one by one, starting from habit number 8 and ending at habit number 1, the most powerful of them all. Not to tease you, but because I want you to realize, lasting change doesn't come from one secret hack, it comes from a well-connected system of habits, building up from the simple to the profound. Habit number 8 kicks off with something surprisingly easy, something you might already be doing every day without realizing how much it's helping your prostate rest and recover. And as we move forward, you'll begin to see this clearly: your prostate doesn't need a miracle, it needs awareness, and the right adjustments in the right places. And at the very end, I'll reveal habit number 1, a habit that almost no one talks about, yet it has the most impact on hormone balance, blood flow, and the silent inflammation driving prostate changes. You can skip it, or you can stay till the end. But if you're looking for a natural, science-backed, and truly effective way to take care of your prostate, this is where it starts. No one really thinks music has anything to do with the prostate. It just sounds too simple, too abstract. But you might be surprised to learn that your sympathetic nervous system, the one that controls your pelvic floor and prostate function, is deeply affected by your emotional state and daily stress levels. And that's exactly why music, when used the right way and at the right time, can become what I call a natural relaxant for the nerves linked to sexual and urinary health, something no pill on the market can replicate. A study published in the Journal of Advanced Nursing found that listening to relaxing music for just 30 minutes a day significantly reduced cortisol levels and diastolic blood pressure in adults over 60. While that might sound like a heart benefit, it indirectly supports your prostate as well. Why? Because high cortisol fuels chronic inflammation and tissue stiffening in the prostate, a major cause of nighttime urination, weak stream, and pelvic discomfort. And this goes beyond just feeling calm. Research from the Department of Urology at Korea University College of Medicine shows that chronic stress and sleep loss directly disrupt the testosterone-estrogen balance, two key hormones that shape prostate tissue density as you age. When stress builds up, your sympathetic nerves tighten the pelvic muscles, restrict blood flow to the prostate, and trigger inflammation, tissue overgrowth, and loss of normal function. But when your brain receives signals of peace, from gentle music like soft piano, light classical pieces, or calming alpha wave tones, the parasympathetic nervous system kicks in. Blood vessels dilate. Circulation to the pelvic region improves. And the inflammatory response? It starts to settle down. In fact, a clinical trial from Osaka University Medical School in 2022 found that men over 65 who listened to light classical music every afternoon for 14 consecutive days reduced their nighttime bathroom visits by 36%, and felt noticeably less pelvic tension and discomfort. This lines up with a key principle in classic medical practice: reducing pressure on the sympathetic nervous system is the first step in restoring pelvic function. Now here's the truth: most older adults don't have any kind of intentional relaxation ritual in the afternoon. They turn on the news. They scroll through stressful headlines. They watch intense sports. All of it seems harmless, but it keeps the brain in a constant state of alert. And that's one of the hidden drivers of poor sleep and ongoing inflammation in sensitive organs like the prostate. You don't need much. Just 10 to 20 minutes a day, when the afternoon light softens, and life begins to slow down. That's the perfect time to sit back and listen to an instrumental track, a light classical melody, or if you're open to sound therapy, a 432 Hz alpha wave recording. No fancy gear. No special techniques. Just give yourself permission to slow down and listen. That's how you decompress your brain, ease tension in your pelvic nerves, and give your prostate a chance to enter a healing state naturally. This isn't an alternative to medicine. It's a way to support prostate health by engaging the nervous hormonal circulatory axis, a system most people completely overlook. And if you're still thinking, can a little music really do anything? Remember this: chronic inflammation never begins with a big blow. It builds drop by drop, over years, even decades. And if you're ready to start shifting that, this might just be the gentlest, most peaceful way to begin. Habit number 8, soft music every afternoon, might be your first step toward better sleep, true relaxation, and the inner balance your prostate has been waiting for all these years. Here's something most men don't realize: your prostate sits just below your bladder, wrapped around the urethra, and it takes direct pressure from your pelvic region every time you sit. From an anatomical standpoint, that means every minute you're sitting is a minute your blood flow to the prostate is being restricted. And it gets worse if you sit with poor posture, barely move, or sit on hard surfaces. What feels comfortable for your back could actually be a daily punishment for your prostate, especially when it becomes a habit that lasts for hours on end. According to Harvard Men's Health Watch, sitting for long periods, especially over 6 hours a day, is directly linked to urinary dysfunction in men over 60. Meanwhile, data from the National Institute on Aging shows that older men who live sedentary lifestyles have a 41% higher risk of developing benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, compared to those who do light activity regularly. But why is sitting so harmful? Just like any glandular tissue, the prostate relies on microcirculation, tiny blood vessels, to deliver nutrients and remove waste. When you sit too long without changing position, the blood flow to your pelvic area drops significantly. That means less oxygen, fewer nutrients, and more buildup of inflammatory byproducts in the prostate tissue. Over time, this leads to things like lower abdominal heaviness, weak urine stream, difficulty starting or finishing, and eventually, scarring of prostate tissue, overgrowth, and reduced response to your natural male hormones. One clinical study published in Urology International, 2021, found that elderly men who made a habit of standing and walking for just 2 to 3 minutes after every 30 minutes of sitting had significantly improved pelvic blood flow and fewer lower urinary tract symptoms, LUTS. So what's the problem? The habit of prolonged sitting often gets justified by age. I'm too old to move around all the time. What's the harm in sitting through a movie? I'm just reading or watching the news, it's not like I'm running a marathon. But here's a better way to picture it: you're not just sitting on a chair, you're sitting directly on the nerves, vessels, and hormonal hubs that control your prostate. And that constant pressure builds up, day by day, until it turns into issues we often chalk up to normal aging: nighttime urination, poor sleep, pelvic discomfort, or even chronic inflammation that never fully goes away. The good news? The solution is surprisingly simple. Set a timer to remind yourself to stand every 30 minutes. Do some light stretches, walk a few steps, or rotate your hips. Watching TV? Stand up during commercial breaks. Reading a book? After each chapter, get up and grab a glass of water. And if you spend a lot of time driving, working at a desk, or just relaxing while seated, consider investing in a donut cushion or adjusting your chair to relieve pressure on your pelvic floor. Don't wait until you're waking up 3 times a night or constantly feeling like your bladder isn't quite empty, just to realize how much your posture matters. Give your prostate a little breathing room every 30 minutes. It's not just about improving microcirculation, it's a small act of protection for one of the most important systems in your body, the one responsible for your hormonal balance, urinary control, and reproductive health in your later years. Habit number 7, don't sit for more than 30 minutes, may sound simple. But it could be the very key to preventing your prostate from being silently compressed, day after day. You might think what you drink matters more than what it comes in. But after 60, when your hormonal balance is more delicate than ever, the material of your daily water bottle can quietly disrupt your entire reproductive endocrine system, the very system your prostate depends on. Let me explain. Bisphenol A, BPA, a common industrial chemical used in making polycarbonate plastics and food can linings, has been proven to mimic estrogen, disrupt male sex hormones, and directly contribute to abnormal growth in prostate tissue. In a study published in Environmental Health Perspectives, scientists at the University of Illinois found that even low-level, long-term exposure to BPA in male mice caused structural changes in prostate cells, increasing the risk of inflammation, enlargement, and even cancerous transformation of the gland. Even more concerning, a human study from the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences revealed that higher BPA levels in urine correlated with elevated PSA, prostate-specific antigen, a warning sign of prostate dysfunction. But BPA isn't just hiding in cheap plastic. It's everywhere, in bottled water from the store, your favorite coffee shop's to-go cup, takeout containers, even the inner coating of canned foods. And it leaches faster when exposed to sunlight, heat, or reuse, all of which happen more often than we realize. Have you ever poured hot water into an old plastic bottle to warm up your stomach? Ever left your water bottle in a hot car and drank it later? If so, you may have unknowingly ingested enough BPA to trigger silent damage in your prostate, even if you felt nothing at all. And that's the danger. BPA doesn't cause pain. It doesn't give you a fever. It just slowly scrambles your hormonal signals, lowers your testosterone, raises estrogen activity in your prostate tissue, and quietly fuels inflammation, abnormal cell growth, and reduced sensitivity to male hormones. The good news? There's a clear solution. You don't need to panic over every plastic item in your home. Just start with one powerful step: swap your plastic water bottle for a glass or stainless steel one, or at least one labeled BPA-free. Stop reusing disposable water bottles. Avoid using cheap plastic for hot beverages. Choose microwave-safe food containers labeled BPA-free. You can even check the recycling code on the bottom of bottles. Types labeled number 3, PVC, number 6, PS, or number 7, other, are most likely to contain BPA. Stay away from those. A study by the Harvard School of Public Health showed that simply switching from plastic to stainless steel bottles for just 1 week reduced BPA levels in urine by 66%, a powerful reminder that much of the damage can be reversed if we act early. We can't eliminate BPA completely, it's too widespread. But we can reduce daily exposure from the things we control, like water bottles, coffee cups, and food containers. And that alone can cut off the chain reaction of silent inflammation and hormone disruption that hurts the prostate. Habit number 6, switching from plastic to glass or stainless steel, might seem small. But it's more than a change in container. It's a shift in how you protect your own hormones, and how seriously you take your prostate's long-term health. There's a natural pigment that helps slow prostate enlargement, reduce chronic inflammation, and even suppress abnormal cell growth. And the good news? You don't need to search far, it's inside the tomato you've probably seen on your plate your whole life. Lycopene, a powerful antioxidant in the carotenoid family, is the secret behind this protective power. Research has shown that lycopene doesn't just fight inflammation and neutralize free radicals, it directly affects DNA replication in prostate cells, slowing down abnormal growth, which is the root cause of enlargement and even cancer. A meta-analysis published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry concluded men who consumed lycopene regularly had a 26% lower risk of benign prostate enlargement and a 14% lower risk of prostate cancer compared to those who didn't. In a separate clinical trial conducted by the Harvard School of Public Health, men over 60 who added lycopene-rich foods to their diet for 12 weeks saw measurable improvements in PSA levels, prostate-specific antigen, and urinary symptoms. Why is lycopene so effective? Because the prostate has a unique ability to accumulate lycopene more than any other organ in the body. This suggests it's not just a helpful nutrient, it's a biological defense weapon that your body uses to protect this sensitive gland. In the context of chronic inflammation, lycopene acts as a calming agent, helping restore balance and slow unnecessary cell division. Where can you get lycopene? Not just from tomatoes. It's also found in watermelon, red bell peppers, ripe papaya, pink grapefruit, and other red-orange fruits. But here's the key, lycopene is absorbed best when it's cooked and paired with healthy fats. For example, cooked tomatoes with olive oil can triple lycopene absorption compared to raw tomatoes. Homemade tomato sauce is an excellent, concentrated source for older adults. A slice of fresh watermelon in the morning provides an easy, gentle boost. Yet, many seniors still hesitate to eat red fruits and vegetables, thinking they're too sweet, too heating, or simply not my taste. But if you knew that just half a cup of tomato sauce a day could significantly reduce prostate inflammation in just 1 month, would it still be about preference, or survival? Here's how to easily integrate lycopene into your meals. Enjoy a slice of pizza with homemade tomato sauce, low salt, no added sugar. Add watermelon to your breakfast or blend ripe papaya into a smoothie. Make a simple salad with cherry tomatoes, olive oil, and balsamic vinegar. Stew tomatoes with lean meats like chicken breast or fish to enhance benefits. One caution: avoid store-bought tomato sauces packed with sugar, salt, and preservatives. These can actually backfire and harm your prostate. Habit number 5, eating red, lycopene-rich foods daily, is one of the simplest ways to build a biological shield for your prostate. Every meal with tomatoes is a small step toward keeping this vital gland from silently shutting down. This might sound simple, even too obvious. But holding your urine, especially in the morning, is one of the most common yet overlooked sources of physical stress on the prostate for men over 60. Here's why it matters more than you think. When you sleep, your bladder continues to fill. By the time you wake up, it's under pressure, and that pressure pushes directly against your prostate, which sits just below the bladder and wraps around the urethra. If you choose to hold it, maybe because you want to tidy up, make coffee, or wait for a better time, you're subjecting your prostate to unnecessary, extended compression. Over time, this can contribute significantly to prostate enlargement. According to the Cleveland Clinic, habitual urine retention not only increases your risk of urinary tract infections, UTIs, but also leads to swelling of the prostate tissue, interferes with bladder neck function, and worsens urinary control, especially in aging men. Even worse, holding urine allows it to stagnate in the bladder longer, raising the risk of crystal formation, bladder stones, and backward-flowing infections. These silent, low-grade inflammations often don't cause obvious symptoms, but they trigger tissue growth and reduce urethral flexibility, resulting in symptoms like frequent nighttime urination, urgency, dribbling, or a weak urine stream. A study in the International Urology and Nephrology Journal confirmed men who frequently delay urination have a 32% higher risk of developing urinary disorders and are twice as likely to experience BPH recurrence compared to those who urinate promptly. So, why do so many older adults hold their urine, especially in the morning? There are 3 common reasons. 1. Unconscious delay, waking up early but doing other things first. 2. Fatigue-related hesitation, trying to go back to sleep and ignoring the urge. 3. The false belief that holding it strengthens the bladder, which is completely wrong. Here's what you need to understand: the prostate has no built-in defense against long-term mechanical pressure. It doesn't adapt. The longer it's compressed, the more it swells, thickens, and enlarges. The solution is refreshingly simple. Always urinate immediately after waking up. If you wake up during the night and feel the need to go right away. Avoid drinking large amounts of water just before bedtime to reduce nighttime urgency. During the day, aim to urinate every 3 to 4 hours, even if you don't feel overly full. This isn't just a small habit, it's a daily physiological behavior, and the cumulative impact on your prostate over time is massive. You don't need expensive supplements to reduce inflammation or prevent enlargement. You just need to release pressure at the right time. Every morning you delay that first bathroom trip, you're forcing your prostate to take the hit, instead of giving it a chance to recover. Habit number 4, never holding urine, especially first thing in the morning, is one of the most overlooked yet fundamental rules of prostate health. Start your day by relieving the pressure, because your prostate deserves care from the very first moment you wake up. Did you know that the prostate is one of the organs most dependent on healthy blood flow in the male body? Yet ironically, the pelvic region, where the prostate sits, becomes one of the least moved areas after age 60. And that's where trouble often begins. A study from Harvard Medical School warned, reduced motion in the hips and pelvic floor impairs circulation to the prostate, promoting chronic inflammation, tissue congestion, and accelerating the enlargement process. In other words, if you sit too long, lie down too often, and rarely engage your hips, you're creating a circulatory dead zone around your prostate. That means less oxygen, fewer nutrients, and more toxin buildup. The result? A chronically inflamed environment that quietly triggers tissue overgrowth. According to Cleveland Clinic, men over 60 who sit for more than 8 hours a day without physical activity have a 34% higher risk of prostate enlargement compared to those who stay lightly active throughout the day. But it's not just about sitting too much. A bigger issue is the lack of pelvic floor muscle engagement, the muscles that directly support the prostate and control urination. When those muscles weaken, circulation suffers, the natural support system deteriorates, and symptoms like dribbling, weak flow, and pelvic heaviness become more common. You might think, but I walk every day. That's great, but walking alone doesn't fully activate the pelvic region. Studies show that specific exercises like Kegels, bridge pose, or deep squats are much more effective at boosting blood flow and strengthening the pelvic floor. Here are 3 simple strategies you can try today. 1. Kegels in the morning. Squeeze the pelvic muscles like you're stopping urine flow. Hold for 5 seconds, repeat 10 times, do this 3 times a day. 5 minutes of bridge pose, lie on your back, bend your knees, lift your hips, and hold for 10 seconds. 3 break up sitting, never sit more than 60 minutes without standing or walking for at least 5 minutes. Don't worry if you are not used to exercising. These movements are incredibly gentle, don't require any equipment, and can be done on your bed, either before sleep or right after waking up. Habit number 3, failing to move the pelvic region, is one of the most common yet overlooked mistakes in older adults. But here's the good news, it's completely reversible. Just a few focused minutes each day can awaken the pelvic area, restore circulation, calm hidden inflammation, and naturally empower your prostate to function better, without pills, without side effects, and without waiting. Your prostate doesn't need more pills. It needs you, to stop what's hurting it, and start what truly helps. If you're still here, watching to the very end, then I know you're not just listening with your ears. You're listening with intention, with care for your own body. We've walked through 6 habits, from not drinking enough water, to holding your urine, to neglecting pelvic movement. Small things, often overlooked. But what's coming next, is where everything changes. Because the final 2 habits, they're the Achilles heel of the aging prostate. Ignore them, and everything else might fall apart. Habit number 2, eating too much animal protein at night. It sounds simple. But this one habit can quietly wreck your prostate health. After 60, your liver and kidneys slow down, especially at night, when your body needs rest, not overload. A heavy dinner of red meat, organ meats, or processed protein forces your digestive and hormonal systems to work overtime, exactly when they should be winding down. Studies from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition show that a high intake of animal protein increases levels of IGF-1 and DHT, 2 hormones directly linked to abnormal prostate cell growth. That's why experts from Mayo Clinic recommend older adults limit animal protein in the evening and instead opt for gentler options like fish, boiled eggs, tofu, or leafy greens. Simple strategy. Keep dinner light and finish before 7 p.m. Favor steamed fish, vegetable soup, or warm tofu salads. Support your liver with warm water or herbal teas like corn silk or dandelion root. Habit number 1, not checking hormones, and using miracle boosters without supervision. This is the most dangerous, and most common, mistake men over 60 make. Your hormone levels naturally shift with age. Testosterone drops, while DHT, a more potent version, may surge, especially with poor lifestyle habits. Many men try to fix this with so-called herbal boosters, exotic tonics, or unregulated supplements. But without lab testing or medical supervision, these can throw your hormone system into chaos, raising your risk of prostate enlargement or even prostate cancer. According to the National Institute on Aging, the imbalance between testosterone and estrogen is one of the key drivers of BPH, benign prostatic hyperplasia. Safer approach. Get your hormone levels checked every 6 months, testosterone, DHT, estradiol. Prioritize quality sleep and healthy fats, like flax seeds, avocados, and olive oil. Never take hormone-altering products unless prescribed by your doctor. You see, the prostate doesn't fail just because of age. It fails because we ignore it. Because we tell ourselves that waking up to pee 3 times a night is just getting old. Because we eat late, take miracle pills, and shrug off the quiet signs our body is sending. But not you. If you're here right now, listening to these final words, you've stepped out of that fog. You're seeing your health in a new light, one of awareness, ownership, and action. And here's the truth. You don't have to change everything at once. You just need to choose one thing, and begin. Right now. So what will you choose? Cut out heavy dinners after 8 p.m. Get your hormones tested for the first time. Or simply start drinking enough water every day. Pick one, and let me know in the comments. What part of this video made you stop and think? If this brought value to your day, tap that like button, so I know you're with me. Subscribe to Vigor Without Age, for more science-backed insights like this. Share this video with a friend, because prostate health is not just personal, it's universal. Wishing you strength, peace, and all the good things as you take charge of your body. Aging isn't a decline. It's the moment we begin to live, fully, mindfully, and on our own terms.